fatal Cellini. In the darkness of the night, a silhouette appeared on the foggy streets of London. Her name was Cellini, a deadly femme fatale whose name was whispered in the assassination world, whose face no one had ever seen. Those who saw her would not survive, only the Black Rose. She left behind in faint traces of her perfume, but Cellini was not alone. There were deadly female assassins all over the world, in different eras and on different continents. They all had different goals, different methods, but they had one thing in common. They were born to kill. Natalia Petrova, Russia, Cold War era. Growing up in the shadows of the Cold War, Natalia was trained to be a KGB agent. She attracted attention with her beauty, intelligence, and ruthlessness at a young age. In her first mission, where she earned the nickname Black Widow, she seduced a Western spy and then poisoned him to death. The victim's body was found with a frozen smile on her face. Even at the moment of death, it was obvious that she was captivated by Natalia's charm. Natalia's signature move was to draw a small spider on her victim's necks with red lipstick. Many agents tried to find out his true identity, but she always disappeared like a shadow without a trace. Until her last mission in Moscow. One day she disappeared and was never seen again. Some say she is dead, others say she still lives in the shadows. Isabelle Laurent, Queen of Poisons. France, 18th century. Isabelle was born into a noble family in 18th century France, but her true identity had become a legend in the Parisian underworld. Isabelle, known as the Queen of Poisons, was preparing a special potion that slowly killed her victims. Her method was this. First, she would get close to her target and build love and trust. Then, with just the slightest touch or kiss, she would infect her victim with deadly poison. At the last moment, when the poor man was dying, he whispered in his ear, "Death is the sweetest dream." There was no evidence about it. It was just a myth. However, deceased nobles always had a small white handkerchief in their hands. That handkerchief was proof of Isabelle's death touch. Miyuki Tanaka, Japan, 1930s. Miyuki Tanaka, the most feared assassin of the Japanese mafia Yakuza. She was known as the Silent Shadow, raised as a traditional geisha. But after her family was murdered by the mafia, it turned into a deadly weapon. Her special weapon was a thin, deadly blade that she concealed inside her hair clip. Miyuki approaches her victims without making a sound. She would kill them in one fell swoop and disappear without a trace. Japanese police found one thing in the rooms of all the murdered victims. A crane bird drawn on bamboo. According to legend, Miyuki, on her last mission, she was sent to kill a Japanese general. However, this was her last assassination. She did not make it out alive that night and was pronounced dead, but her identity was never confirmed. She is still described as one of Japan's most mysterious assassins. Helena von Richter, Almania, 1940 LR. During World War II, a female assassin named Helena von Richter became an angel of death for Nazi leaders. She performed her job like an art. His signature. It was a black tulip flower that she secretly placed in her victims' pockets. Helena gains the trust of her enemies by exploiting their weaknesses, ease, then silently carried out their executions. There was only one clue in the rooms of the high-ranking Nazi officer she killed. A few drops of French perfume and a tulip. But one day Helena fell into a trap. Those who wanted to capture her used the same method on her. One night, there was poison in the wine she drank. In the morning, a tulip was found in her room, but this time it was her own death. Myth or reality? Did these women really exist? Or are they just legends? Their stories are told in whispers in the darkest shadows of world history. Perhaps someone is still out there, following in their footsteps. And maybe one day, you too will feel like a femme fatale is watching you from the shadows. Remember, the weapon of a true femme fatale is not just a knife or a gun. His most powerful weapon.
It is the ability to approach without being noticed by anyone and disappear like a shadow